Why does Islam and sex work coexist legally in Senegal? How does Senegal, a country so deeply rooted in Islamic faith, reconcile with the legalization of sex work? In this West African nation, where 98% of the population identifies as Muslim, sex work is not just present, it's legal. Today we'll take you on a journey through the streets of Dakar and beyond, uncovering the history, the laws, and the unique social dynamics that make Senegal an anomaly in the Muslim world. And yes, for those curious travelers, we'll also discuss where this controversial profession is most visible. But before we dive in, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more thought-provoking content. A brief history of sex work in Senegal. The story of legalized sex work in Senegal dates back to the early 20th century, when the country was still under French colonial rule. During this period, the French administration sought to control and regulate prostitution, rather than eradicate it. This approach was driven by a desire to protect the health of French soldiers and administrators, as well as to maintain public order. In 1966, 6 years after gaining independence, Senegal adopted a formal legal framework for sex work, influenced by its colonial past. The government introduced a system of registration and health checks for sex workers, creating a regulated environment aimed at reducing the spread of sexually transmitted infections and ensuring the safety of the workers. This legal framework, known as the Code de la Santé Publique or Public Health Code, is still in place today, making Senegal one of the few African countries where sex work is both regulated and legal. The role of Islam in Senegalese society. But how does this square with the fact that Senegal is 98% Muslim? After all, Islam generally condemns premarital and extramarital sexual relations, and many Muslim-majority countries have strict laws against sex work. Senegal's brand of Islam is unique. The country is known for its tolerance and its deep connection to Sufism, a mystical branch of Islam that emphasizes inner spirituality and personal relationships with God over rigid interpretations of religious law. This has fostered an environment where traditional Islamic values coexist with modern, pragmatic approaches to social issues. It's also important to note that Senegal's government operates as a secular state, meaning that while Islam deeply influences daily life and culture, the country's laws are not based on Islamic Sharia law. This separation allows the government to enact policies like the legalization of sex work that might otherwise be seen as contradictory to religious beliefs. The legal framework and regulation. So, how exactly does the system work? In Senegal, sex work is regulated by the Ministry of Health. To legally engage in sex work, women must be at least 21 years old and register with the local health authorities. This registration process involves regular health checks, particularly for sexually transmitted infections, and ensures that the women are aware of their rights and the resources available to them. The health checks are mandatory and must be done every month. Registered sex workers carry a health card, known as a carnet sanitaire, which they must present upon request by authorities. Failure to comply with these regulations can lead to fines or imprisonment. By legalizing and regulating sex work, the Senegalese government aims to reduce the spread of sexually transmitted infections and protect the rights of sex workers, many of whom are often marginalized and vulnerable to exploitation. Despite the legal framework, there's still significant social stigma attached to sex work in Senegal. Many people view it as immoral or shameful, and sex workers often face discrimination, both from the general public and within their own families. Yet sex work in Senegal is a reality for many women, particularly those from impoverished backgrounds with limited economic opportunities. For some, it's a means of survival in a society where other options may be scarce. This creates a complex dynamic where the law protects them, but society often does not. To understand this better, we spoke with local experts and activists who work closely with sex workers. They shared that while the legal system provides some protection, it's far from perfect. Many sex workers operate outside the legal framework due to fear of being ostracized or because they cannot meet the stringent requirements for registration. Now, for those curious about where sex work is most visible in Senegal, the answer lies in the bustling city of Dakar, particularly in areas like the Medina district, Plateau, and the coastal regions near tourist hotspots. These areas are known for their nightlife, where both locals and tourists frequent bars, clubs, and hotels. It's in these settings that sex work is most often encountered. However, it's important to approach this subject with respect and awareness of the cultural and social implications. While it may be tempting to view this aspect of Senegalese society through the lens of curiosity or intrigue, remember that for many women, sex work is a necessity rather than a choice. As a traveler, it's crucial to respect local laws and customs, and to approach this subject with the sensitivity it deserves. Senegal is a country of contrasts, where deep religious faith coexists with secular laws that reflect a pragmatic approach to complex social issues. The legalization of sex work in a 98% Muslim nation is just one example of how Senegal navigates these contrasts, balancing tradition with modernity. As we've seen, the legal framework aims to protect sex workers, but societal attitudes are slower to change. It's a reminder that laws can only go so far in shaping a society's values. So, whether you're drawn to Senegal for its rich culture, stunning landscapes, or intriguing social dynamics, remember that this is a place where the unexpected is often the norm, and where the deeper you look, the more you'll discover. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of fascinating places around the world. Until next time, stay curious.